All right. Good afternoon, everyone. This is our first senior meeting of the year that we're having, and we're so fortunate to have Miss Nobles here with us. Hello, Miss Nobles.
Hi.
All right. And just as a reminder, for those of you who are viewing this live, it will be posted back to our posted and shared on our YouTube page. So you can go back and collect that information there on our YouTube page that we have. As a reminder, please make sure any comments that you have, please, or questions that you have, please place those in the comments. We'll be monitoring that as we go throughout the presentation. With that being said, Ms. Nobles, I will turn it over to you.
All right. Thank you, Ms. McGuire, and welcome everyone to the Class of 2022 Senior Meeting. I am going to share my screen with you, so let's try this out. So I don't see it. Can you see it, Mr. McGuire? There we go. So again, welcome to the senior meeting. Um, First of all, I want to share with you some high school class information because I know a lot of you have had questions about do you need a full schedule and just many other questions that you have had. So the first thing I want to address is that yes, you must have 4 blocks each semester. So I know a lot of you have completely finished your graduation requirements and you're trying to figure out what are your next steps, and we will be meeting. I'm currently in the process of coming up with that schedule to meet with everybody before second semester so that we can go over what that is going to look like for some of you who have finished their graduation requirements. And of course, as I've spoke with a lot of you, that does include possibly dual enrollment classes or work-based learning or a combination of both. But the answer again to your questions of do you need a full schedule? Yes, you must have 4 classes each semester. In regards to your GPA, uh, when we are looking at your GPA and the colleges are requesting your GPA, for me, they are requesting your high school cumulative GPA, and that does include everything that you have taken while in high school. So that is why we stress that all of your classes are very important. I know a lot of you get down to some of these elective classes and you think they aren't, but they are very important to your overall GPA, and that is your cumulative high school GPA. And again, keep in mind that that's what the colleges request. When I am sending over your transcript information and your GPA, that is what they are requesting from me. Your whole scholarship GPA is not the same as your high school GPA. The Hope Scholarship's major difference is that it is only calculating your core, which is your academic courses, as well as your higher level foreign language classes. And that is, for example, your Spanish 2, Spanish 3, AP Spanish, things of that nature. So again, Hope Scholarship GPA is only looking at your academic classes as well as your higher level world language courses to come up with that GPA. Everybody should have access to their Hope GPA. If you have difficulty in obtaining that, please let me know. I have a slide later on that addresses that, but if you have any issues, just let me know. Only students who have attained an overall 90 cumulative average or above will be considered for designation as undergrads. So at the end of this semester, you should be able to determine from your grades if you are going to be an undergraduate. However, if you do have questions about what is your GPA, then you can feel free to come up and speak with me about it. But again, those designees shall be determined after the first semester of your senior year. So, of course, at the end of this semester, and the grades that you receive at the end of this semester will factor into whether you are going to be an undergraduate. Um, Class rank is found on your high school transcript, and a lot of you have asked about that. So if you do need to obtain your high school transcript as you're filling out scholarships or applications, you can come up and request that high school transcript from Miss Moore, our guidance clerk. She'll be happy to print one out for you. Typically, it is $1 for that unofficial transcript, so just have $1 on you if you are needing that transcript in order to complete an application or or a scholarship. So however, if you just need to know the rank, just come by my office. I can easily give you that. But however, if you want an unofficial transcript, do stop by and speak with Miss Moore, and she can get that for you. It is based on your GPA and the number of students in your graduating class. So currently, you guys have 144 students in your graduating class. So just keep in mind that it's going to be based upon your GPA and that number to determine what your class rank is. And also, a lot of students have been coming up for verification of enrollment and child support, SSI, military verification. So if you need anything of that nature, you are going to go to see Miss Brooks, who is our information specialist, in order to receive that information. So the certificate of attendance is available on School Cash. So of course you would access School Cash. I believe it's $5. Pay that $5, and then Miss Brooks will call you up when that is ready. Any of those other forms that you may need, you're going to have to email Miss Brooks or either drop those forms off so that she can get those completed and returned to you. Her email address is yolanda.brooks@sccpss.com. In regards to graduation information, I have gotten a lot of emails about, do we have information about graduation? At this time, we do not have a graduation date or event or location information at this time. So please be patient. It is typically later in the year before we receive that information, and Mr. McGuire is always really good about sending it out as soon as he receives it. So guys, please be patient when we get that information to you as soon as we have it. So just, kind of, be looking out for that.
Yes, Miss Nobles, you're right. As soon as I get that information, I am going to share it with you guys so you guys will have it. So I'm not going to hold it. As soon as I get it, we're going to post it. We're going to send it out to parents via Bright Arrow, via text and email. We'll also utilize our social media platforms in order to get that information out as well. So please make sure your contact information is updated. You're checking our website because that's where we're going to be posting that information for you guys.
Okay. Thank you, Ms. McGuire. Senior dues. Ms. Davis has posted your senior dues on School Cash. So you are able to go to School Cash, pay those senior dues, and you can receive notification that has been completed. So just make sure that if you have not paid those senior dues, go ahead and pay them. I don't think she has made any updates to it, so that should not have changed. She said that it is on School Cash, and you have access to that. And of course, Mr. McGuire has also sent out that information to you. But however, if you need to speak with Ms. Davis in regards to any concerns or questions you have about those senior dues, you can email her at keisha.davis@sccpss.com, and she'll be more than happy to answer those questions for you. Senior pictures and yearbook. Senior pictures are due by October 31st, and that came directly from Mr. Reed. So please be thoughtful and put it on your calendar, put it in your phone to ensure that you get those pictures turned in on time. You can also check the yearbook Instagram for more information or call Upscale Images to make an appointment. And you see their number there on the screen. So If you have any questions in regards to senior pictures or yearbook, you can also contact Mr. Reed to answer those questions for you. And in regards to community service, at this time, we are still requiring a community service. I know some of you may have community service already, but did not get the form complete. You can request that form from Miss Moore up in the guidance office and return that to me, and I can get it recorded in Power School to reflect that you have completed that requirement for graduation. However, if you have not, guys, the COVID numbers are really high at this point, and I just want y'all to be safe. So, I am advising students to wait to see wait in terms of trying to run out and get these community service hours, because it's 20 hours, and typically you can get 3 to 4 hours at one event. So it would not take you long to accumulate those community service hours. I just do not want you guys trying to rush out there if you have not obtained them at this point. So just be thoughtful of your health and your family as you're looking at completing that community service requirement. But at this time, we are still requiring the 20 hours of community service. Mr. McGuire, do you know anything different on that? Okay, he may not be able to talk, so we're gonna go on. I did want to go over your graduation requirements again, just to make sure that everybody is aware of what is needed for graduation. If you have a concern about, do you have everything that you need for graduation, prior to me meeting with you, please don't wait to come up. Go ahead and come up. Make sure, if you don't see it on this semester, it should definitely be in your second semester schedule. But if you have a concern, please do not wait. Go ahead and come up and speak with me about it, so that we can ensure that you are ready for graduation and on track. Here again, you're going to see the 20 hours of community service as a requirement for graduation. And then some students who have completed some dual enrollment classes, but may not necessarily have that last class in a CTAE pathway. There is an advanced academic pathway that may be the best option for some of those students. There's typically very few, because many of you have completed more than one CTAE pathway, but you will need at least a CTAE pathway and or an advanced academic pathway for graduation purposes. So for English, you will need 4 credits for English, 4 math credits. For science, you have to have 3 social studies. However, for us, that equates to 4 social studies classes. So you will still have 4 social studies classes to give you the 3 that you need for graduation. So typically, if you were in a different county, you may get a half a credit of American government and a half a credit of econ. But of course, here we do not have those half credit courses. So you do get full credits for those, which equates to those 4 classes that we're talking about. You will need 2 world language classes of the same world language, a health and personal fitness. And if you're doing CTAE, that's going to be 3 courses in the CTAE pathway to complete a pathway, and then your elective courses to get to the 24. And of course, if you're doing the academic pathway, you may not necessarily have CTAE credits. All of our students do, so that really won't apply to us, but you may not have the full 3 courses that you need to complete the CTAE pathway, however. Some terms I wanted you to be familiar with as you're applying for college are the early decision versus early action. And you're going to see that a lot right now because you are those students who are applying early. So for early decision, that is binding. So I want you to be very thoughtful if you're planning to apply early decision. Typically, that is the school that you have known since kindergarten that you want to attend. So when you say that you're going to apply for early decision, that is typically you only applying to one college. Or I mean, not one college, but you can only apply early decision to one school. And so if you are accepted, any other applications that you have completed, you will have to withdraw those applications to other schools. So definitely know the deadlines for these early action, early decision, and be very thoughtful about whether you want to go the early decision route because it is binding. And so no matter the financial outcome, some students like to wait to determine what school they want to attend, depending upon what the financial aid package looks like for that school. But for early decision, no matter what your financial aid package looks like, you are bound to attend that school. So just be thoughtful about that when you're applying early decision. Early action is non-binding. You get to apply early to numerous schools, and you get to find out early if you've been accepted. And typically, the date to accept for early action is normally May 1st, something like that. So definitely, before you click on that, the early decision, early action, know exactly what you're signing up for when you're looking at applying to those colleges um, for after graduation. So regular decision and rolling admission. Regular decision deadlines range from December 1st through March 1st, January 1st, January 15th. Those are all popular dates for regular decision. So that means that those schools are accepting applications later into the year, and then of course, but however, it is important to check with the school that you're hoping to attend to get definite deadlines. You can always check their websites if you have any question about what their deadlines are. And then rolling admission means ongoing throughout the year. Um, those schools accept applications all year long. So if you go into a school or you're applying to a school that has rolling admissions, you're not really worried about those deadlines because they do accept applications all year. Now, how to apply to college and ASVAB information. Now, I did list several places that you can begin applying. My main place for applying to colleges in Georgia is going to be georgiafutures.org, and I left the S off. That is incorrect. So it is Georgia Futures with an S.org, and I did put a link on this PowerPoint if you are not familiar with Georgia Futures. When you go to Georgia Futures, it gives you an opportunity to apply to multiple colleges in Georgia. Typically, when you fill out one application, that information is transferred into any additional college application that you complete. So it prevents you from having to do multiple applications over and over and over. So it is a fast way to apply to colleges, especially the colleges in Georgia. So definitely, if you're thinking of remaining in Georgia, I would start at georgiafutures.org first. There's also Common App. Common App allows you to submit one application to as many colleges as you want from their member list. They have hundreds of colleges on Common App that are a part of that are members of Common App. They're not in just in Georgia; they're all over the country. So, let's say you were thinking about attending a school in Florida or California or anywhere really, and they're part of Common App. You can do one application and apply to multiple schools using that Common application. So that is always a good source to begin if you're thinking of going to not just Georgia schools, but some schools out of state as well. And then you will also see Common Black College application, and this is where you can apply to your HBCUs the same way that Common App works. You would go on there, fill out the application one time, and then apply to as many HBCUs that are members of the Black Common App. So it does save a lot of time, but I do want you guys to be prepared. It does require you to complete an essay, so do take the time to do it thoroughly, read through the guides, and also look at any tutorials to make sure that you are completing, if you choose to do Common App or Common Black college application, that you're doing it and doing it the correct way. So just take your time whenever you're filling out those applications on there. It would benefit you in the long run. So the coalition application is also another site that allows you to do the application one time, and submit to as many colleges that participate in their membership. And I did want to add this information in about ASVAB. Guys, we are going to try to have the ASVAB on campus. I can't guarantee anything at this point, but I am working on it, because that does alleviate some stress for students when they don't have to try to figure out how or when to schedule. But we are going to try to do the ASVAB. However, in the meantime, I do want you to utilize this website here. It does tell you the scores that are needed for the different military branches. It gives you some insight about what is on the ASVAB, as well as some practice information. So it's a good place for you to go and start practicing, to be prepared and get the best score that you can get on the ASVAB. So just be on the lookout. I believe Miss Moore did put a sign-up sheet out front for students that are interested in taking the ASVAB exam. So if you're interested, please come up and sign so I can have a good idea of how many students are interested in taking it here on campus. And if you don't see it out front, please ask Ms. Moore, and she would get that to you so you can sign it so I can get an accurate number. Transcript requests. Request your transcripts mainly through Georgia Futures. So like I said, if you are going to be attending a college in Georgia, you want to request that transcript through Georgia Futures. So you can scroll to the bottom of the page, and under resources, you will see high school transcript. You are going to complete that request, submit it to me, and then through Georgia Futures, and then will have to notify me, because I don't check it every day, and say, Ms. Nobles, I did submit a transcript request through Georgia Futures. Can you please release my transcript? And I get it done that day. But yeah, that is the best way, especially for schools in Georgia. That is an official way for them to get your transcript. It is not unofficial when they receive it through Georgia Futures. It is an official transcript. If you are requesting transcripts for out-of-state schools or scholarships, that is going to have to come from Ms. Moore. So what you would do is you're going to go onto School Cash again, and then pay for the official transcript, and then Ms. Moore will call you for those transcripts for scholarships of out-of-state schools. Ms. Moore can also mail those transcripts off for you. You would just need to let her know where they would need to be sent. Now, I know some students have let me know that colleges or universities have said that I can email them. If you have a college or university that will accept your transcript via email, especially an out-of-state school, so just let me know. You can send me their information, and I will send your transcript via email. It does have to be encrypted, so if you want to ask them about that beforehand, you can. Again, I will have to encrypt it, and some schools do not like to receive encrypted emails, but we do it for security reasons. So if you do have a school that is willing to accept it via email, just let me know, and I can email it to the admissions department. So you also want to, for scholarships, please make your request well before the due date, because sometimes we're not here, and if you come the day before or something like that, or the day of, you may not get the necessary documents that you need to complete your scholarship. So please become well before the due dates to ensure that you don't miss out on any of that money, because it is going to be essential as you're preparing for going off to college. And again, you see at the bottom that official transcripts can be purchased through school cash. And I did add in here the SAT and ACT dates. So just be thoughtful of the dates that are coming up. These are all Saturday administrations. So you can look to see what dates work for you. I know a lot of you did sign up for SAT School Day on October 13th, but you can also sign up for additional days if you would like to do that. But I did want to provide the dates and deadlines and the score release dates, because those are also very important as students are determining if they want to register for another test date. So just be thoughtful of all those dates and deadlines so that you can make the best decision for you in regards to SAT or SAT testing. And again, that SAT school day is October 13th. Now, Georgia futures. When I meet with you guys, I do expect all of you to have a Georgia Futures account. I have talked to many of you, and you still do not have a Georgia Futures account. Guys, this is very important. This is how you're tracking your Hope GPA. You can ask me all day long, but it's more beneficial to you and your parents when you are able to go on and pull up your Hope GPA, and that does help determine what school you want to attend, because if you're eligible for Hope, that makes a huge impact on whether I can go to this school based upon how much me or you or your family can contribute to the cost of the school. So everybody should have a Georgia Futures account. That is what I expect when I meet with you. If you do not have your Georgia Futures account when we meet, do plan to create it during that meeting. However, I do hope that everybody will have their Hope their Georgia Futures account already created when we meet, so that you can be tracking your Hope eligibility at this time. Everything that you're doing this semester is going to impact that Hope GPA. And so you should be working diligently. You should be asking questions if you're having problems, because some of you could be on the brink of Hope, meaning you have a 2.9. But if if you were able to get all A's, maybe you could bump that up to a 3.0. Or some of you could have a 3.0 on a dot. And if you didn't do well in the class, of course, that could drop you down below Hope eligibility. So that is why it is very important for you all to be tracking that Hope GPA. And so I do expect for all of you to have your Georgia Futures account created when we meet to go over your graduation progress, and to ensure where to look at your schedule and make sure that everything's on track for graduation. You'll also find information about scholarships, how to apply to college, FAFSA. It's just loaded with information, guys. So please take advantage of that website. It'll be very beneficial to you. So what I did is I did put a link to the quick guides of how to create the account if you needed that help. And then I also put a link to the outreach webinars they have in regards to FAFSA, how to apply to college, that kind of thing. And you can sign up for their webinars. So like I said, Georgia Futures is full of a lot of great information. Some of you that are doing dual enrollment, you have been on the site. And I hope that you have taken time to kind of peruse it and see what all they have to offer on there. So for scholarships, local scholarships will be posted on It's Learning. However, local scholarships are typically released in the spring of senior year. We have very few local scholarships that come out in the fall. However, when they are released to us, I will post them on It's Learning, and then you can access it through It's Learning. And I would also give you the link to the SCCPSS counseling, school counselor website that I obtained that information from. So what I have instructed the kids to do, or the students to do when they've asked, is to go ahead and start working on some of these local scholarships. I know Gates Scholarship just closed. You have Coca-Cola. You have, it's so many scholarships out there, guys. Dr. Pepper. But these national scholarships is how, when you see these students on TV and they have been awarded millions of dollars in scholarships, it's because they have taken time to do a lot of these national scholarships. So you can find those information about those national scholarships on our SCCPSS website, our Woodville Counseling website, and then you can also access Georgia Futures to find out about scholarships at specific colleges. So while it's kind of quiet this semester for local scholarships, I would take this time to do those other scholarships and see how much money and see how many scholarships you can get completed and see how much you would be see how much money you can get awarded. It also is great practice for what to expect for the local scholarships, practice for writing essays. So it just gives you a lot of good practice in terms of what to expect, and allows you to kind of tweak your essay to have the best essay possible by the time those local scholarships come around. And please make sure that you are checking these sites daily for deadlines and new scholarships as they become available. I know it can get kind of tedious, guys, but if you get in the habit of doing it, by the time when we start posting scholarships, we don't have to worry about you missing out on anything. Of course, Mr. McGuire was sending out the information. I would post it on It's Learning. But if you get in the habit of just checking at least once, then you don't have to worry about missing out on a great opportunity to get one of these scholarships as they become available. And I did want to make mention of there's a drive-in scholarship night that's coming up soon, and you see the flyer right there. It is going to be Monday, September 27th at 6 p.m., and that is at Johnson High School. So please go ahead and put that on your calendar and make plans to go out there and find out about those scholarships and get any additional information or assistance that you may need in regards to um, um, successfully completing scholarships and that kind of thing. So this is a great opportunity for the month of September. So I hope you guys are able to go out and make use of this event. So I do want to make emphasis. It does say please make sure to download the Virtual Scholarship Center app. So make sure that you do that. I know sometimes you may not read everything, but it's good to begin to read that fine print. Learn to go and read that fine print, guys. So FAFSA and GSFAPPS. So when just because you're accepted to college doesn't mean that's the last thing you need to do. Now that you're accepted, you got to figure out how am I going to pay for it. And so that is where the FAFSA, which is the free application for federal student aid, comes in. FAFSA for the 22-23 school year, which is going to be your FAFSA because you guys are going to graduate 22 and you will be entering into your freshman year of college in fall of 22. So when you apply, it is going to be the 22-23 school year. So you're going to complete the free application for federal student aid. That is going to open up on October 1st. And please, please, please go ahead and get that completed as soon as possible. It saves you a whole lot of headache if you go ahead and do it early. So because when you finish it, you know exactly what you're going to be awarded and the contribution that your family may need to make, if any, towards college tuition. So go ahead and begin that FAFSA on October 1st. It will open up and you will be able to access that and complete that application. Also, to apply for Georgia State aid, you're gonna the FAFSA will allow you to do that, but many of the colleges will also request that you do the GSFAPPS. So I am asking that you guys go ahead and complete that GSFAPPS for Georgia financial aid as well. It doesn't hurt to make sure that you have everything complete. Just to make sure that you can get all the money that that you've worked hard for, um, to be able to go off to college. So I am also asking that you do that GSFAPPS, and I did put a link on there for the GSFAPPS. For us, our representative, GSFC, which is Georgia Student Finance Commission rep that assists us with financial aid or FAFSA, is going to be Miss Carol Lott. So I did want to put her contact information on here so that you can reach out to her if you have any issues in regards to completing that FAFSA. You can set up independent individual appointments with her um, if need be to talk about any issues that you're having. So again, her name is Miss Carol Ann Lott.
Miss Nobles, if I could just for 1 second, apparently when we utilized the app to do the live stream, it went live on the dual enrollment meeting as opposed to the senior meeting.
Okay.
So we have some people that are just joining us. I just want to make them aware that everything that we've done thus far um, has been recorded, and it's going to be live on our YouTube channel so that you guys will have access to that and be able to get all the information that we've talked about. If you have any questions, if you would please post those in the chat. We'll definitely make sure we go through and answer any of the questions that you have. But I do want to apologize for that mix up again. We have two meetings. We have one today and one tomorrow, and so the program read it as tomorrow's meeting instead of today's meeting, so it caused a little bit of a mix up. So I apologize. I'm sorry, Ms. Noble.
Okay. So again, I just wanted to make sure that you're choosing the right application. I had a student come up. She said, Miss Nobles, I've already started my application. And I was like, no, ma'am, you have started the wrong application. So for you, for the students that will be graduating in the May of 2022, your FAFSA application is going to be the 2022-23 application. So make sure you are selecting the right application. And I did want to supply you with the, of course, the date, which is October 1st. Is when you can begin to submit the FAFSA form, as well as what year's income tax information is required. And for you, it would be the 2020 income tax information for your parents. So I wanted to make sure I included that so that you're all aware of the correct application when you are on there on October 1st, which I'm sure most of you will be completing that FAFSA. FAFSA. And I did for the remaining slide, I did want to share some information Mr. Robinson provided. Mr. Robinson, Jeffrey Robinson, is your dual enrollment coordinator. I know a lot of you will be looking to participate in dual enrollment next semester. Mr. Robinson is going to be sending us notification of when that spring application is available. So, like I said, just get in the habit of checking It's Learning and checking these platforms that where we send you information so that you can get that done as soon as possible. His email address is jeffrey.robinson@sccpss.com. If you have any questions in regards to work-based learning, But we will send the information out as soon as Mr. Robinson um, gives us notification that the application for spring is available and ready for you to start submitting. So just be looking out for that. And we also wanted to make you aware of a ready to work job fair. The seniors, of course, are encouraged to attend the ready to work job fair to explore college and career opportunities. And then you can see that the date is going to be October 7th at Savannah Mall. Um, so I believe you do have to sign up for that. So you can see the time that the students will depart campus at 10 and return by 1:30. So please be prepared to have on professional attire, have an updated resume when you are um, deciding whether you want to sign up for this event. You will have to have come in professional attire and have an updated resume before you are allowed to get on that bus. So a sign up sheet is going to be available in the office, and you can come up and sign that anytime. I would say probably the best time is going to be during lunch because Mr. Robinson is typically out in the front office during that time. However, if you don't see Mr. Robinson, there will be someone who can provide you with the sign up sheet. So that pretty much concludes our meeting for today. Thank you for attending. If you have any questions, please post them in the chat. Um, and if you need me for anything, like I said, we are going to be meeting. I am in the process of developing that schedule to meet with all of you before second semester to ensure that you know exactly where you stand for graduation. Thank you.
All right. Thank you, Ms. Nobles. Just a couple of things I just want to reiterate. I know, again, we had that mix up with the links, but I want to make sure that we kind of reiterate the point. As of yet, we don't have any information relative to the dates, times, locations for graduation. As soon as we get that information, we will definitely share that with you. And we want to make sure that we get that out to you guys. We know some of you may have family coming from out of town. There are other arrangements that you need to make. So we definitely want to make sure that we get that information out to you. Also, some of you may have questions about senior dues. That information is available. Senior dues wise, that information is available in school cash. So if you go to school cash, you'll get the different packages. We always try to make sure we provide varied levels for you guys to participate in the senior activities. So if you go to school cash, you'll see the different ways and opportunities that you'll have to participate in the senior meetings or in the senior activities that we'll have. Thank you, Ms. Nobles, for sharing this information. I'm checking the comments now to see if we got any questions there. I don't see any as of yet, um, but we'll continue to monitor that. As always, Ms. Nobles is available for you. You can send her email. You can call us here at the school. You can also call me, and we can make sure that we can address any questions that you have. As I mentioned earlier, this presentation will be shared back out, so we'll send this link out so that you will have it available to view at a later time. And even if there are questions that you had or things that you may have missed, you can go back to those specific points in order to view it and get any information that you may have. Ms. Nobles, did you have anything else that you'd like to add before we conclude?
No, I think that's all, Mr. McGuire.
All right. Well, thank you so much. And again, we'll send this information back out to all of our parents, and we'll have this on our website so that you guys can go to it. Students, please make sure that you check It's Learning. That's another way in which we share this information with you as well. So please check It's Learning as that link will be posted there for you. All right. You guys have a great day, and we hope to see all of you guys tomorrow. And we hope that you have a great school year. Thanks, guys.